What's up, YouTube? Confirming 220 and welcome back to another episode of Season 2. We are coming to a close of Season 2 at the 50th episode. Then we'll launch into Season 3. That's basically, the seasons are, the first season was regular COH 2. The second season was with Western Armies, so we had the integrated armies of the US and OKW. And Season 3 will probably be some Western armies, and we'll see if they add any more factions, maybe around Christmas time. But, well, actually, in June, this Western Armies came out, so maybe we'll have some new factions to talk about and analyze in around June, like we did last year with the Western Armies. Who knows? Anyway, we're playing on the farm map. It's like it's VAUX. I don't know how to pronounce that. I think it's French. And we're playing with Nick again. And these are the farmlands. I think it's kind of interesting how it's like so nice and green, and it's kind of like, it's not as like dark as the Eastern Front. Anyway, we're going up against two Germans and a killer, and his ally, who's up here, is 23 down. So this guy and a killer. Let's hop onto him really quickly. He's using the Ostruppen doctrine. Now, I use this doctrine a little bit, and I didn't really like it. The Ostruppen can be deployed quickly. They're nice cheap infantry. They really suck. These are the Eastern, other Eastern factions that were with the Nazis, and other Eastern nations that were with the Nazis on the Eastern Front, and these were like the Romanians, the Hungarians. That's who these guys supposed to represent. Anyway, 2 in manpower, have like a bonus when they're in cover, but really not too strong overall. And you don't want to get anything out of this doctrine. You get like an artillery officer. You can build trenches, which a lot of, trenches aren't that big a deal anymore. You can transfer. Now this is the other way around. It would be interesting. But you can give your fuel up, which is very valuable as a German player, and get some munitions. And you have the railway artillery. So that's that guy's doctrine. 23 down is on the assaults. Grenadier doctrine of the Tiger. And I am this doctrine. And Nick is this doctrine right here. We can see right here. Nick is shock rifle front line. I'm the armor company. So Nick helped me over there. He helped me push these guys back because he had this machine gun. He's dealing with things going up north here. The MG is pretty decent, but he's getting flanked unfortunately, so he's going to have to hop into that barn right there, which he's doing. He's hopping actually everybody into the barn. Now keep in mind there's only a certain number of windows. I just have another MG coming up, so he's kind of MG spamming in the beginning. I mean, he has 3 MGs. And meanwhile, I kind of decided, I'm not going to let what we usually do is we let the center fall and we take the fuels. But I'm not going to let the center fall. We're going to fight much harder for this town. I'm not giving up. I was getting briefly suppressed by an MG somewhere back. Yeah, but yes, back here. And I'm right now building up some barbed wire. I know people can hop over the fence right here, so I just want to make it hard for units to get around. They can even hop over right there. So I left my rear echelon troops and my engineers basically to start securing down this area here. I brought these riflemen up here, and I'm killing this MG. If you give me an MG this early, that would be excellent. So he's forced back again to retreat. And I'm going against the Grenadiers. Now I'm going to try to close the distance even though they are in cover, because our M1 Grands will do a whole lot of damage up close and personal with these guys. You can see how they do with the Car 98 where they have to, he's doing that action with the bolt action. And we're just semi-auto, and we're winning this fight right now. Unfortunately, more troops come. You can see they have a bonus right here for being in cover, bonus for accuracy. But guess what? We have a flamethrower. So basically abandon the southern fuel to consolidate and push in the middle here. And I'm going to try to put an MG right here to kind of help cover this area. I think I'm really a man. I have my rear echelon guys right here. So as an American player, munitions are very important. Not so much for this doctrine, but just to get basically a lot of things like grenades that require munition, bars, and not machine guns, bazookas. Speaking of machine guns, Nick has his machine gun up here. And unfortunately, when you play COH2 a lot, when you see this sign right here, you realize you better back off, because that basically shows you where a minefield is. I don't think there should be signs. I think that's, it's going to cost you 6 munition. You should know where the bouncing betties are. And there are a ton of them. You can see that right there. these guys are going to go capture this point here. The center is fallen, but we've got more troops moving in. Machine gun. And now this guy, oh, he's got a medic base already. Interesting. So I saw those, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to have my guys start. You know, these guys wanted to help. They wanted to, my combat engineers, my assault engineer squad, they want to help disable some of these mines. But you can see, this is like a really good position for us right here. You can see Nick is in the house shooting out, and my guys are behind heavy cover in this wall, and these guys are in the open. Especially against weak infantry like that. That's just a great positioning by our troops and our combined force right there. And I'm just going to target the unit that's coming around that's not suppressed, and they're going to fall back again. So I just kind of said, we don't really need the victory point right now. I need to clean up this minefield here. Nick is using shock troops to deal with some of these assault grenadiers. That's a pretty good counter for the assault grenadiers, to be honest. These shock troops do have body armor and are killing quite a lot of these German troops here. They might even wipe out that pioneer squad. But as the distance goes greater and greater, they'll have less likely chance to hit that guy. Put my own mines down. It's just a basic anti-tank mine. They actually don't bring any tanks through here for the whole game, like along this area here, so it's a little mistake. You can see we're dominating on map control. We have the whole center locked down. Nick's taking the field up north. Just as I am upgrading, I was upgrading this, and it wasn't done, and now they're look, these guys are stuck. That's why I put barbed wire right there. But what really sucks is that now these guys are in position here. Now he's gonna have to go the long way. I didn't notice that during the battle. So I'm gonna let this finish upgrading, right? You know, I see grenadiers are probably coming around. Problem is I gotta help hold the center here. They're gonna start focusing all their efforts there. I'm trying to build some anti-tank traps, you know. Just some basic defenses. But I have a decent amount of troops. And now they're gonna, you know, I'm gonna try not to lose my position down here. I'm dealing with, like, I got this whole known area I gotta focus on, and I'm dealing with this thing in the south here. They're trying to rifle grenade me. Those guys are getting pinned. This machine gun is in that house. He got really lucky that this thing wasn't upgraded yet. And my lieutenant's gonna have to get back or he's gonna die. I'm gonna men along these walls here. I see that these guys are, you know, I saw them kind of pull around the side of the house, so I'm gonna start flaming them. I'm gonna use these assault engineers for what they're used for, you know. Get right in the trenches. They have their grease gun shooting, and I'm actually gonna wipe out this squad, or attempt to wipe out that squad. Wow, that guy is lucky. The grenadiers are forced back thanks to our machine gun. I'm going to keep campus. I need those munitions. The problem is this whole area is falling. I do have a machine gun here. And he even got out, but he's going to just get right behind my position here. So that's unfortunate. We've lost the south, but keep in mind we do have the northern area here. And wow, that guy's screwed.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
So we have the northern area here. We need to take that victory point. By this point, I basically see to the south. I'm like, okay, they can have the southern port of this map right now. I'm not going to worry about that just yet. I just want to make sure. I have a major out right now, and I'm just saving up for a tank to go. But, you know, these Ostrupen are really not good units. They do the Panzerfaust though. So we're doing a good job of controlling, you know, the middle, and Nick's going to push in right here. What he really needs is. Good, he got those guys back. Yeah, they destroyed my emplacement down there. What Nick really needs is probably a half track, but you know, it's still 9 minutes in. It's not too bad. This would be a great map for partisans. I feel like you can pop guys out. With this, you know, brief lull in fighting, I'm going to start putting up some barbed wire. Just want to make it hard for the enemies to move around. I do have some mines down along this point. But they're pushing, you know, they're trying to push, you know, you're not going to take the territory basically next to my base. So I'm sending some more relief forces down here. You know, they may be entrenched, I know that, but I'm not giving up just yet, you know. I'm not going to let them have a free 3 fuel and 5 munitions. It's not going to happen. They do have a rocket. They have an anti-tank Pack 40 out. So I am 7 fuel away currently from a Sherman. In fact, this machine gun, I saw them capture this, so I'm just going to hop into this building. I'm going to use this building as an anchor, just like this building's an anchor for the center. And I'm going to shift over. I'm going to have to hop my men over the fence. You can see us hopping over under fire. And I want them to come to me. You know, I'm not going to attack where they're strong with machine guns, you know. I'll engage them where I have a machine gun. And force these guys back, even with the flamethrower too. And they're sort of pushing also here. I'm watching out, you know, I'm very wary of a rifle grenade possibly hitting me and killing my men. And I think I might be actually saving up for Jackson. I'm saving up for one of the two. I am floating a little bit of manpower. So I'm actually coming in right on the flank where they have no cover on this side. I gotta be careful with my men right here. My riflemen, they are low health. But with all this firepower coming in on these guys and being suppressed, they're able to actually collapse that building and kill Nick's MG. The farmhouses really are not strong buildings. You know, they're not like this, obviously, this tougher building. But I mean, I guess a ton of grenades would be pushing in right there would, you know, hitting that one building would do a whole lot of damage. I don't know why these guys didn't come suppressed until that moment, but they're throwing a bundle grenade in here, and I'm like, oh boy. So I'm going to force those guys back. I'm moving a little bit of a condensed formation. Some might call that a little bit of a blob, but I'm kind of spread out a little bit. And, you know, I'm kind of dealing with these guys. I'm going to try to wipe out one of these squads, so I'm focusing all my fire on this one unit, one-man squad, and I managed to kill him. Now, he brought out the Stug 323 down. Now, the Stug 3 is only 75 fuel, but man, this guy is deadly against infantry. He's already killed one man. He's going to do a lot more than one man. Look at that. He's wiped out 3 men. So I know because I have a Sherman out. I lost my rifleman squad bet too. This guy is just like, I gotta pull my men back. And they have the AT here to kind of protect him. Oh, my Sherman wants to play. He doesn't mind trying to take on a Stug. This thing cannot penetrate any armor on any tank, basically. Now, I'd love to pursue him, but I know there's an AT, and I know these guys are probably going to Shrek me. So I just got Shreked, and this AT is basically going to move up. So I'm going to pop out some smoke and switch over to HE. The smoke will kind of blind the AT and force him to push up. And the HE should do a whole lot of damage against the infantry right here. And Nick does have a T-17 out to help me. Or T-70. And he's going to go right around this AT that's trying to wipe me out and try to kill it. And managed to my armor again. If I can just curve around right here, I should have the tree covering me. He's doing a lot of damage against that. And they don't have a lot of munitions. They just captured that munitions point. And he doesn't want to get Shrek, so he's going to let my machine gun kind of suppress him. These guys are down to no health, basically. So I'm repairing my Sherman with 2 types of engineers. Just unlock the Browning for my men. I don't really have a ton of infantry in this match so far. The only thing I do that I should probably get better at is I just let my MGs die. I think I just don't necessarily care about this MG. I kind of want to just hold this flank. I'm not too worried. These guys are going to come through. We have a T-34. They laid down more mines. Wow. No, these guys didn't have a ton of munitions for the amount of mines they were laying down. Frankly, I'm happy with the munitions we have because it's 42 a minute. It's not the greatest, but Nick's already started building fuel caches. I have my own fuel cache. Once again, with my rule, I don't like to build fuel caches that are, you know, right next to the enemy lines. I feel like 200 manpower right here. You know, some guys come with Shreks, they get a machine gun and just lose a fuel post right just like that. So we're gonna start pushing towards the center. Well, these guys, I don't think these guys realize that we have tanks around here. And I have shoe mines. I have anti-tank mines right along here. And I'm not on HE, I'm on AP. So, you know, it's ready for a tank. And he's got to be careful because he just lost a squad. I just ran over a guy. I know he hit my rear armor, that's not a big deal. You can see they're kind of forced to flee, and he's like glitched on his let's look at him. He's glitched on his animation. He has his Shrek on the ground, he's just like running straight. That's funny. So I'm gonna hop out and just repair. I know there's probably, wow, look at this. This is a blob right here. Anti-tank grenadiers. This is very scary, guys. This blob could easily take out these tanks. And look at that damage already from all those Shreks. So I'm like, I'm getting my tank the hell out of here. I hope Nick can get his tank out. I have these guys moving up. I have my men moving up into positions in heavy cover to shoot these guys in the open. And Nick has his troops here. I'm going to let these guys die in the front lines just to try to slow these men down. And they are losing men. I lost a squad, but they're in the open when they're doing this, which isn't great. My men are pushing in, and I have a tank right here. They're once again using their Stug, but these guys are in mass retreat right here, which is probably why he has a medic bunker right there. I'm going to go after the Stug. Frankly, I don't like the Stug. The Stug has killed 11 of my men. And I'm missing, of course. I know ATs are here. And I'm like, oh great, Shrek, so I'm going to pop out of smoke. But I got hit, which is really bad. So I lost my tank. It's a ban. I had these guys up here. I was thinking about manning it with one of these squads, but I'm just losing too many men. I'm going to have to let this guy go. And there goes my Sherman. Basically, and for some reason, he shot it. He didn't let it be abandoned, which he could have easily seized that Sherman. And this tank, Nick's making good use of his T-70. So I'm retreating back to my major. I've set up my forward field hospital basically right here, and I'm starting healing up my men. And reinforcing. I'm also getting a Jackson right now. I figure, you know, That Stug, if he wants to try that again, you know, it's gonna cost him. I'll have a Jackson to basically take him down. Nick is also reinforcing off of this, off of his. He's got his half track, so he can reinforce up here. He does have an AT, so it's good he has a half track being so far from enemy lines. I don't really care he's taking this point. I managed to pull my machine gun back. Actually, didn't let it die, which is good for me. Upgrade with the quad mount because we have so much munitions. Now they're gonna try to screen with ATs. And I'm like, Nick, watch out. He's gonna move. But you know, they may have light machine guns, but so do we. I see rifle grenades coming in. Unfortunately, as I move up into negative cover here, the blob comes. And I'm forced to retreat. I might lose my Vet 2 squad if I don't get back. So what sucks is I need the Shermans to take down this blob with HEs. But I also need the AT to take down the Jackson, the tank destroyer, to be able to take down the Stug that's over there. They're kind of stuck right here, and they're getting decimated, basically. They're losing lots and lots of men, low health. They're forced to fall back. I don't know what this AT was doing so close to the front lines. But even having Jackson here, he mistakenly didn't even target the... Ooh, that hurt. Gotta pull back. That squad got wiped out. So I've lost a couple squads right here. But I do have machine guns now. And these guys. So they lost one AT that's now... it's basically gone. And Nick moved up a little too far. I'm like, they have an AT there. So he didn't see that and he lost that. So that's unfortunate. But he should be able to make another one. It's not that much fuel. And I'm probably going to make another Jackson. But, you know, these machine guns, I wish I could set up some kind of cover, like some sandbag or something. I guess Nick's conscripts could, but I don't think he has any conscripts. Well, I'm kind of also setting up for possible Sherman bulldozer. I figure that'll be pretty good, you know. It can create barriers and help protect my men. But what it can also do is it has a howitzer to take out buildings. And what enemy is in the building? It's these guys in the south that have been left alone. That's the only thing protecting their fuel right now, so... I'm also pretty aware of that. So I withdrew back and get these guys healed up. We have a bazooka. That's just a wreck. But we have a bazooka right here under the wreck. And I see an AT right here, and I'm like, why do I have that there? I don't want the blob to come up and man that. So here's what you can do. You can click attack, or just click A, attack move, and you can destroy AT guns like that. That's what he did for my Sherman back here. And so that's like, you need to realize you can destroy enemy equipment that way, and for the OKW you can salvage the equipment. Some of my men in this house ready to shoot back at the enemy, and we also have a machine gun right there. So I'm just going to kind of push these guys back. The grenade did quite well, and Nick can heal up his troops back on my ambulance, which is kind of nice. He's reinforcing, or he can't reinforce once he gets into range. And this guy's now Vet 2, just for having people retreat on him, which is kind of interesting how he gains XP that way. But look, another blob incoming. When I had 3 units, that wasn't a blob. When there's 5 units, kind of all together with a single attack order. That's a blob. And we see a Sherman. I mean, we see a Panzer IV come up, and they're pushing forward. And I'm like, that's not good. I gotta fall back. This is a major assault, and I realize my forward HQ has gotta go back. I'm gonna take off the retreat point, try to get my tanks out of here, pulling back the ambulance just to get the hell back. My men are trying to hold out as long as they can, and the machine gun is forced to fall back. IS-2 comes out at a critical moment, though, and he's going to take a shot right into these guys. And my Sherman bulldozer pops out also. You can see I am flanking around trying to push back this guy. I'm going to try to fall back. I have no smoke whatsoever, and they're just going to hit me with that shot, and they managed to wipe out my tank. So I'm in deep trouble. This guy's now vet 2. They wiped out my tank. This building just collapsed. Basically lost a lot of troops right here. But the blob has been hurt significantly. They basically only got away with 2 units. So that guy got devastated. You know, this IS-2 had 7 kills, and I also have my tank right here. Keep in mind, I can make the barriers, which I'll show you in a little bit. And I have all my men back at base, refitting. Actually, I have my whole full force down here. I'm ready to take down the south here. Now, this isn't the most accurate Sherman, but it can be quite deadly against infantry, especially in buildings and fortifications. I don't want to go around this corner because I know this AT is watching it. But now I'm going to say, okay, we lost the center. Let me hit the south again and take away their fuel. And right now they're building another Panzer IV. This guy does have a pretty big veteran corps there. And this guy, yeah, he's rebuilding. The thing about his blob is that these guys are expensive to retrain. They are 42 manpower. You'll eventually just bleed out. So I'm sure there's some kind of mine along here. I mean, there's mines right there. So I'm just going to go up here. Devastating in the building. Just push these guys completely back. And I managed to kill, I'm sorry as that guy survived. Managed to kill those guys, they're forced to fall back. The south is now mine. They're pushing in. I think it's a little cocky to take the point right next to the enemy like that. And the armor's kind of... The problem with this guy is he has no engineers, and he can't really heal up his tanks. So I'm going to move in. I have these guys trying to push these guys back, and Nick has just shock troops. So we've been pushed back heavily in the center. The south now is now falling. I'm going to be taking that for our own fuel purposes. And I have another Jackson coming out. It was really a shame how I lost that first one. Thing is, though, we're going to bleed this guy out. He's got the manpower right now, but these elite troops, and they're all upgraded heavily with these. You know, these are pretty expensive to make. 120 for the Shreks. So even if I capture that temporarily, it's going to keep the blob out of the middle, which is a win for me. And he's repairing. So he's got 1 engineer for 3 tanks. So check this out. I just made a barricade for my men. Or I made a barrier. So now they can kind of hide behind it. It doesn't work too well, to be honest. But it's so I'm telling Nick, you know, we got to take back the center here. They're going to be taking this position back, obviously. At this point, I'm kind of like, do I use the howitzer artillery on this? They're way too spread out for that. So I'm still thinking about I'm just going to get back. They're way too spread out. It's not worth all that fuel. However, in the middle, it's not worth all the munitions. However, in the middle, that would be a wise idea. And now that I have a Jackson now. In case where I am using the Fox Company skins. I think the Baker skins are much cooler. I've seen players use those. Maybe I'll have to beat the campaign as Baker, you know, obviously not showed for YouTube, but to get some of these cooler, like, desert skins. So here's a mistake. Well, it's not a mistake. He's going to push against Nick in the north. Which is a good idea. He's pretty soft over here. You know, he doesn't have a lot of anti-tank. He just has 1 anti-tank gun. He's trying to kill these units. However, he kind of forgets he's exposing his rear armor to all our troops. And his allies further in the south trying to take back what I took earlier. So I'm going to hold these guys, you know, they're in a kind of a blob formation. And I'm doing some devastating damage. And the Panzer IV comes. Once again, I'm going to get my engine destroyed. Start focus fire on this Panzer IV. The T-34, Nick sees it. Thankfully that shot missed as he was going back. And this tank here, doing a whole lot of damage. Nick seems to be ignoring it for some reason. I'm gonna go right past this AT. Now I don't have any kind of machine guns, and I don't want to be like stuck here with this AT, so I'm gonna swing around. I'm gonna let Nick know there's an AT there so he can possibly finish it off. They have an AT over here, but my barbed wires block them in both places, so we can't really do anything with that AT. And that Panzer IV is destroyed, but they inflicted a lot of damage on Nick. He's lost a lot of men up here. I'm out repairing my tanks here. So we defended the north, and there should be nothing in this area, I think, which is true. And I'm going to move in my infantry right there. And they're kind of hiding behind our bear that I made with my bulldozer. That's a really cool feature, and I'm happy they have it in the game. You can also destroy the barrier, too. You have to be a little careful of this AT. I see right here, I see there's barbed wire. I'm like, there's no way. These guys are screwed. And I'm going to destroy this AT if I kill it with the Jackson, you know, very powerful gun. But the blob comes up from the south. I don't have enough machine guns. I'm calling right now the howitzer barrage. What do you do if you're any common sense player, though? The howitzer, kill my squad. What do you do if you're any common sense players? You get the hell away from the red flares. So I don't think my howitzer's going to do anything. You know, it hit right here. Very spread out. They're calling stuff on me now. And it's much quicker. That's the issue with the American armor. You have the Jacksons and you have the Shermans, but you don't. You know, you need a Sherman to take out the infantry, right? But you're going to need a Jackson to take out the armor. I'm going to kill a unit and try to retreat. If I get away, if I lose this squad, it's going to be devastating. I have another squad pushing in though. Thankfully that guy gets away. So I was lucky by having my bulldozer get away from that, almost dying. I got to pull back, throwing a grenade and retreating. He does the same thing. But that IS-2, very devastating. They have a, it's not a Tiger yet. They have a Panzer IV coming up. They're going to try to take back the center. Infantry-wise, you know, we're winning this fight. These, this blob of the Panzer Grenadiers are very hard to stop. Very hard. And we are slowly winning. Well, we're not winning on VPs, but he put his machine gun back here, and he even built a bunker, so I'm going to raid down there again. You know, if I can keep attacking them with some basic armor, because I know they're not defending with armor. I might as well. And then I realize at this point, my tank's out of position, and there's probably enemies capturing that point. There's probably a couple of those. And this guy isn't even healed. So Nick sees his AT is in danger, and they managed to steal back their AT gun. Look how many, they have 3 AT guns. That's ridiculous. I see that, I'm like, I do not like this situation. But I see Nick moving in, so I'm going to move in also to support my ally here. That 3 engineer squad, flaming these units. That 2, that's a really cool thing about the Panzer IV. It gets a skirt, an armored skirt when it, yeah, that got wiped out. It gets an armored skirt when it gets Vet 2. And if I had to, I mean, I threw a grenade, and you get the railway artillery going down. I threw a grenade, but I think I threw it at the AT, this AT here. So I'm like, wow. Time to pull back. I don't want to risk killing my men here. Right around that area, it seems. Okay. So, you know, my men are becoming more and more veteran, which is great. I'm getting some new recruits onto the field and upgrading them. And I'm healing up my men back here at base. But I need more men in the center. Now we have a Tiger that comes out. But Nick does have an AT. And this is a, you know, I have 2 Jacksons now. If this Tiger wants to come and expose its side armor here, side and rear armor, I'll say let's go. So I'm very tempted to push in. I gotta be careful, but I do have my infantry right here. And then I see this, I'm like, oh my gosh. Who knows what the hell that is, but I gotta give time to get back. Infantry are gonna screen for me. If I can keep killing these engineers, you know. Ouch. Yeah, more railway gun artillery. That's all his munitions basically. I'm throwing grenades. Just wiped out those engineers. We're getting flamed by Nick, but he's trying to kill those ATs. And the Tiger is sitting back here, content. So they are definitely wrecking our farmland. You know, it's going to be very hard for people to farm on this kind of destroyed terrain here. So I'm going to repair my tanks fully. You know, I have this kind of lull in action. And I'm going to keep my men around here. I'm going to even have these guys help out. The men are going to kind of provide for screen. I can see one of these guys sticking around the corner. I can see there's a mine there. So what am I going to do? I don't want to get run over by a mine. I'm going to throw a mine right here and hope to kill some men. He's going to see that and he's going to move. And it does kill one soul. I was a little unfortunate, didn't kill any more of those guys, but he saw the grenade. He has good micromanagement of the moving around with, you know, dodging grenades. But he's going to come right into this area, and I'm going to move my tank destroyers back. You know, I'm going to push on in and start shooting at these guys. And I'm going to try to throw grenades if I can. Grenade goes down right there. Nick has a KV-1 flamethrower tank, and that's going to force these guys back. Now we have a Vet 3 unit. They're calling more artillery down over here, which is probably railway. Which is very scary, actually, because this is pretty close to our base. If you put railway right around here, that would be devastating. Anyway, they have all those ATs they're moving up with, but you know, we're just going to start hitting this Tiger, and I don't think they can sustain this. You know, he made a mistake by over-pursuing. He's going to expose the side armor, and you can't expose that side armor like that against an IS-2 and Jacksons. It's just going to completely destroy you. So we're going to push up by my infantry right here, and that guy got sniped. I think it was by the IS-2 or my Jacksons. So they're in deep trouble right now, and they're getting destroyed, basically. They just lost their armor there and 2 infantry units. So this sounds crazy, but I'm going to grab a second bulldozer Sherman here, and I'm going to go take down this area in the south here. You can see this land right here is my old fighting position I made with my rear echelon troops all those minutes ago. So now I have 2 Sherman dozers, so basically I have one in the middle to kind of help me out with buildings and stuff, but I also now have one to push southward, which is what I really need. I really need another infantry squad to help push south with me, but I'm healing up my men here. I'm going to get ready to go back to the front lines. They're starting to capture. They only have 1 man. I think what's really hurting these guys is his kind of blob tactics by using the very expensive Panzergrenadiers with 42 manpower per guy. We're bleeding him dry on manpower. And this guy does have some ATs, but, I mean, if you think about it, 4 Panzergrenadiers is a lot. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. So we're going to go down. My non-veteran troops are going to go down and help me take out that bunker with the help of the tank. They'll be able to take out that bunker and secure the south. I'm moving in. Here goes a grenade. I'm going to fall back, but that grenade did manage to wipe out that squad that was kind of bunched up there. So I know I should probably capture that, but I'm going to have some of my rear echelon, once they're done, capture that after they help finish repairing the tanks over here. They're building a bunker. All we need is, like, if I was able to get some kind of artillery that was more accurate than this, 240 millimeter. So I see him suppressed. I'm just going to wipe out that bunker right there. Even though I'm even pinned. I'm going to push in. This building is going to die, basically. I'm going to... You know, this is a howitzer on top of this guy. And I'm even bringing some more tanks down south. Just in case they, you know, try to counter me at all. Nick is taking this area right here. The flames are just devastating. This is a machine gun position. I'm going to push up. I see he's still targeting this unit. So I'm going to start damaging the building by running into it with my tank. This is a Vet 2 machine gun. It's down. It's killed 5 men, including 2 from this squad. My men are almost dead, so one more shot should kill this building, though. The guy's inside it, and that's now gone. So this area, I have 2 men in this squad. They are pinned to the ground. They're going to become unpinned in a second. I'm going to start capturing stuff. I meanwhile, I'm flanked around here. I'm going to keep pushing. They don't have enough. They have a lot of AT guns. They don't have enough to really stop these veteran infantry. And you bet I'm going after the units at the back first. And these grenadiers are right here, and I'm just like, wait a second. They're shooting at me. Might as well just target them. We do have bars. And this squad, this AT up here is going to get killed too. So, you know, that's 2 ATs I managed to wipe out, and a grenadier squad is launching a rifle grenade. I dodge it, and I get out of there. I lose 2 men, but could have been much worse. So I have this point now, and I'm going to take the fuel. I do have a bulldozer right back here. And I managed to wipe out that AT gun also, but there's another Stug. I'm just going to fall back, and I'm going to hope that my men don't get killed on the retreat. And what was I also going to do? You know, I couldn't, you know, I didn't realize there was a minefield my men had to retreat through. But the Jacksons are coming up. And I'm going to hope I don't hit a mine. And I'm just going to destroy that machine gun nest right now. So that was kind of a waste. Machine gun nests and machine gun bunkers is what they're supposed to be called. Are really just not good in the late game. Early on, it's very hard because you need a mortar or something to take it out. But once you have tanks, I mean, you should be pretty good. I didn't take the fuel with these guys. You know, I don't want to lose another squad considering I'm down to 2 squads. Another rifleman squad out, and I'm going to equip them with the bar and send them towards the front lines. These guys are Vet 3. They managed to survive. 34 kills on these guys. 34 Wehrmacht troops have died. And the whole center is basically neutralized by Nick, who's using the secure mode with some of these troops. And they're bombing Nick up here. Devastating, but I mean, even the meat grinder, you know, or whatever it's called, it's the quad mount, meat chopper, that's what it's called. It's devastating against these lightly armored infantry. And I think they killed some of their own men there with that shot. This guy's up here now. Keep in mind, Nick does have a lot of guys around the center, so I'm going to start moving with the infantry to capture that. And there's too many ATs around here for me to try to capture any. I'm like, great, there's more mines. But he's going to kill those units right there. And you know, that's just that's Stug's only for infantry, basically. It does not have a thick enough gun to bounce off and kill. It just basically bounces off and can't really kill anything. There's his veteran 3 assault grenadiers. I almost had 40 kills for one assault grenadier. You have to get 50 to get an achievement. So I'm just going to push in past the artillery. And I launched a barrage right here just to finish off that minefield. And whenever it's not finished off, it should get finished off by those bouncing Bettys. And pursuing them as they retreat. So I see some more of the Pan Grenadiers. I'm going to get behind the fence to cover the fence and just push on in. They have more troops up here. Now if the enemy's spamming armor, you know, getting those ATs might be great, but we don't have that much armor, to be honest. And my tank's right here, and he sees that, he's like, I can't pass up that target, right? Then he changes his mind once the IS-2 comes up. Now it'd be great if I moved up and started taking some of these guys, taking out some of the ATs. Of course, fall back with some of my troops, but I am having some more of these guys that are going to be equipped, and I have taken the field down here in the south with my tank in position to assist if anything is needed. I'm trying to take out this with my howitzer. That is not doing too well. Yeah, like it's missing, point blank. So I'm moving. I'm going to try to take out some more AT guns. You know, the enemy invested a lot in this. So I see another one right there. I'm going to shoot at that. Fortunately, this tank gets a little too excited and runs over the mine. I was like, wow. That's a mine. So hopefully that didn't kill any of my troops. He's going to try to take over down here. You know, thinks I don't have anything defending it. I'm going to move in my tank right now and push in. Because I know he's going to want to hop into that building. Actually, I'm going to push back because I want to try to preserve this unit. This is a Sherman after all. But I have some interesting abilities, and we're going to push back those troops. So we've taken the center. We have both fuels right now. And we've destroyed a lot of their AT guns. So life is looking pretty good for us right now. We have all 3 victory points. They don't really have anything, but they have another Tiger out in the field. And this guy's all the way back here. Really needs to get some more, or heal up some of his repair guys. These guys have been devastated in the war of attrition, especially with all these AT guns. Like, I've destroyed probably 4 or 5 of those things. So their final push is probably going to be up here against Nick to try to take out, you know, take over the fuel. T-34 Vet 2, not too good against the Tiger. We're going to shift all our forces up here. This guy, unfortunately, is held out of the fight right now because he's getting repaired. So I got to move everyone up. This Tiger, once again, is going to try to Wow, that was a devastating shot. He's just going to try to kill the infantry, which he does. So that's neutralized. It's not dead. He's going to try to get away. He does have overdrive, which he could have possibly used, but IS-2 now targeting the rear armor, and I have my own men coming up. My own tanks. Tank destroyer. Jackson. Artillery's going down on this area. That was like the most perfect. Look at that, it's just burning up these units. That did a lot of damage against that blob there. I don't believe in letting this Tiger go out so easily, so this guy's done. I'm shifting him up. I'm going to shift this unit up too soon. We can destroy this area, you know, destroy the units in this area. We should win this game, and Nick should really get his tank out of there. Smart growing his ISUs want to lose that after all. But artillery's going down, and Nick just realized that, and he's going to get out of there. Wow, that would have totally taken out his tank. So I have my Jacksons here. I'm not ready to lose this game, you know. I'm not ready to pull back yet. I'm gonna get in there now, you know, do the 1-2. Nick held him off initially. I'm gonna go after this AT here. Managed to wipe out that AT. I'm gonna go against this guy. So he's gonna be focused on my Vet 2 Sherman bulldozer, but I'm gonna have my Jacksons take him out. And I'm also, this guy got Vet 1, so I'm using the armor-piercing rounds, and that guy's gone. They've lost pretty much everything. They have 2 squads left. Well, I guess this guy has a couple more Osttroopen squads. But 2 Tigers gone. They can knock you out with their manpower on their blobs. That's why we won this game. You can see the kills here. Both of us had pretty positive kills to deaths. Lost, they had very negative. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave some comments down below. What do you think of this match? Did you like it? And I'll see you in the next part, guys. The next episode in Season 2. COD4Man221 signing off. Hope you enjoyed.